ascending tract. So in our brain we are having a bundle of white matter, that is a bundle of axon, which is called as tract in the central nervous system. We are having certain upgoing system which is ascending tract and certain downgoing system which is descending tract. And in our central nervous system we are having tract, that is bundle of white matter, which connect from anterior to posterior, that is our frontal cortex and occipital cortex is connected, that is association tract. And we have a bundle of white matter to connect the right and left part of the brain, and that bundle of white matter is called commissures. Corpus callosum, it is the largest commissure in our central nervous system. In our body we are having receptors such as Golgi tendon organ, free nerve ending, these all are receptors. So when these receptors are stimulated, they are like a biological transducer. That means they convert some form of energy into another form of energy. That is the sensation of touch, which is a mechanical energy. It has been converted into electrochemical energy, which is a nerve potential. So this is the spinal cord, and this is the dorsal root, this is the ventral root, this is the posterior median sulcus, and this is anterior median fissure. So this is a gray matter. Here you can see this is a gray matter, and this is a spinal canal. And here you can see we are having, so this is the anterior horn, which is a gray matter, and this is the posterior horn, which is also a gray matter. So the sensory neuron, it is coming through the posterior root. It is a unipolar neuron. Here you can see this is a cell body which is in a peripheral process and a central process. In the trunk there is mixing of fibers, mixing of the sensory and motor fibers. And this is the dorsal column. So in our body we are having this dorsal columns, this lateral columns, and this anterior column. These are bundles of white matters. So in the dorsal column there is only ascending fibers, whereas the anterior and the lateral columns there are both ascending as well as descending fibers or descending tract. When we are looking about the evolution, we can see that these dorsal column, they are the most modern. That is, they are by considering the evolution they are most modern, whereas the anterior and lateral, we will call it as anterolateral, it is a primitive type. So in this lecture I will be concentrating on the ascending tract and not about the descending tract. So as the dorsal column is the most modern type by considering the evolution, so the sense of fine touch, it is going through the dorsal column, whereas the sense of pain, the sense of temperature, the sense of crude touch, these all are going through the anterolateral. That is, the pain and the temperature, it is going through lateral column, whereas the crude touch, it is going through anterior column. So the pain, temperature, crude touch, and sexual senses, which is a primitive sense, itching, these type of senses are going through the anterolateral system. As it is primitive type, it is myelination is low as compared to the dorsal column. So it is not that fast as the dorsal column, and the dorsal column is involved in the fine touch, which is a modern proprioception, the sense of position. That means by closing your eyes you can feel where your hands are, where your legs, in what angle your body's hand is kept. So everything you can feel. That is the sense of position and the proprioception. You can feel the sense of vibration. It is coming under dorsal column. Then 2-point discrimination. That means on the hand itself, if you are touching on 2-point, you can discriminate. Your brain can discriminate as it is different points on your same hand. It is a modern sense. So it is coming under, those senses are going through the dorsal column. And there is better localization here. That means in a fine touch, you can actually say where the person has touched in your body. The exact point you can feel. That is better localization is present in the dorsal column. So in your body, through the dorsal column, the information which is coming from the lower part of the body is more medial, whereas information which is coming from the upper part of the body through the dorsal column is more lateral in the spinal cord. This will help you to localize the lesion in the spinal cord. That is, if a lesion is happening at the medial part of spinal cord, if a lesion is happening here, your lower part of the body will be affected. If the lesion is happening on the lateral side of your body, that means your upper part of the body will be affected. So it helps in localizing the lesion. So in this pathway, the first order neuron enters the spinal cord and it ascends as fasciculus gracilis and fasciculus cuneatus. So these fibers reach at the medulla, at the nucleus. The fasciculus gracilis will reach at the medulla and terminate. First order neuron will terminate at nucleus gracilis. This is nucleus gracilis at the medulla. And the fasciculus cuneatus, this is fasciculus cuneatus, it will terminate at nucleus cuneatus at medulla. So here I would like to mention that fasciculus is a bundle of white matter. When you are cutting a cross section, you will get a circular bundles in fasciculus, whereas there are another system which is called lemniscus, which on cross section you will get flattened bundles, that is lemniscus. So fasciculus gracilis is a bundle of white matter which is more medially, right? That is, they are taking the information from the lower part of the body. Remember, like this, legs are graceful. That means from legs the information is taken through the fasciculus gracilis, whereas from the upper part of the body the information is taken through the fasciculus cuneatus. So from this nucleus gracilis and nucleus cuneatus, internal arc, the fibers crosses each other. Here you can see the fibers are crossing each other and then ascending. So this crossing of fibers is the internal arcuate fibers, and they will ascend as a single bundle, which is the medial lemniscus. So this system is coming from the dorsal column to medial lemniscus. So this pathway is called as dorsal column medial lemniscus pathway. The pathway is not over. Here I would like to add something about the thalamus. So in the thalamus, this is a Y-shaped white matter. You are having anterior, this is medial, and this is lateral. In the lateral you are having two nucleus, which is ventral and dorsal, and there is nucleus present within it. This is ventro-anterior nucleus because it is present anteriorly. Ventro-anterior nucleus. This is ventro-intermediate nucleus. Here two nucleus are present, one laterally and the another one medially. This one is laterally and this one is medially. So this we can say ventro-postero-laterally, whereas this one is ventro-posteromedially. So this second order neuron from the medial lemniscus, it will be entering to the thalamus, ventro-posterolateral nucleus of thalamus. So this is the ventro-posterolateral nucleus of thalamus, and this is a lentiform nucleus. And here you can see this is a cuneiform nucleus. So the lentiform nucleus and the cuneiform nucleus both are gray matter. So inside it is an internal capsule, The internal capsule is a bundle of white matter. So this is the internal capsule. In the internal capsule, you are having an anterior limb, a posterior limb, and the genu of internal capsule. So at the thalamus, from the ventro-posterolateral nucleus, third order neuron will start, and through the posterior limb of internal capsule, it here you can see it will spread the fibers which is called as corona radiata to the cerebral cortex, especially the post-central gyri. So through the corona radiata, it goes to the sensory cortex, post-central gyri, and the cerebral cortex will interpret the information coming from this system. So this complete system is called as dorsal column medial lemniscus pathway.